in airplane mode, I don't need no drama.
Hello. This review looks a little different. Stranger Things, the coffee version. Hopper's coffee. Look at the notes, y'all. You got coffee with a splash of half and half and tonka. So tonka is a vanilla bean pod and a tobacco leaf had a baby. It births tonka. And it's also heavy on the vanilla note. So let's take this as a vanilla coffee. And a splash of half and half. The reason this review is going like this because I returned mine, and when you do that, we damage it out the system. So they asked could they burn it at the store, and I said yeah. Reason why I returned it because it's giving me Paris Cafe. I wanted more of that tonka note to jump out because remember the tonka that came out with rosewood patchouli about 3 years ago in the unreleased test line. They keep teasing us with that tonka. We've smelled that tonka in Afterthought. We've smelled that tonka in Ebony Sands, aka Bridgerton Study. However, that coffee tonka candle on its own is tobacco, it's coffee, and it is robust with the underlying vanilla, and I thought that's what that would have been, and it's actually not. So I just put the fresh brew coffee on top just for comparison because fresh brew coffee to me right now knocks it out the park more than Paris Cafe, because like I said, with the batches of Paris Cafe, sometimes they can add too much vanilla which waters it down. So fresh brew coffee, let that be bait, and it definitely is for me, so I'm glad to see that one come back. Now I'm going to take y'all back here to the back because cafe latte that's on the table and cafe day, a day at the cafe. A day at the cafe to me I thought was the white caramel cold brew. It's very similar to that, y'all. However, a day at the cafe does pull more heavy on the caramel. So I thought about the caramel frappuccino one. The caramel frappuccino is a little softer into the vanilla on cold versus at the cafe. So in other words, I really need to get at the cafe and burn it to give it a fair shakedown. Now the reason why I'm doing this to show y'all the candle over in the corner, and the distance that Hopper's coffee get for me is right about there where our lease line would stop. So that's just giving you projection of a true open concept, because the store is, you look at the width of the store and the length of the store. Now, at this table back here, do I smell it teetering? Yes. And that's what that's what nobody in the store, we wasn't open yet. So I'm not saying it doesn't give the wrong projection. I'm just saying it's too similar to Paris Cafe. But going back to the table, and then the cafe latte. Now, cafe latte gives me more white caramel cold brew, to be honest. Now, I would want to see brown sugar cafe come back. I would definitely want to see that come back. So the closest to white caramel cold brew to me is going to be not the at the cafe, but the other one, the cafe latte one, or whatever the case may be. Either way, with some of you all liking pumpkin spice latte that's about to come up, let's just get our latte good life going on and get some blends going on, because the coffee notes be given. And I always say just a burst of coffee resets your home, resets your room, etc., etc. So again, I didn't return it because I didn't like it and it don't throw. It's just too reminiscent of Paris Cafe. But if I had to give it a grade of a throw and projection, Paris Cafe always gets a solid 8 out of 8. You can't go wrong. But if you're just going to be a coffee collector and you want them just because, understood. Bye, y'all.